Hey yo, what's going on? It's your boy Halo the Don, and I'm back again with another one. Hey yo, gents, I'd like to introduce you to this new podcast that we got going on. It's called The Move. Yeah, we're still thinking about that, but hey, we'll figure that out, right? So today, this podcast is literally going to dive into the beauties of the dancing industry, the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the beauty, the ugly, everything in between. And I want to enlighten the people about the dancing industry in South Africa. So today we're starting off with a very, very special guest. Someone I call a pioneer, someone who started at the beginning of the game, 19 years, hard in the game. Started off with a guy teaching him karate. Then after that moved on to his student who looks like Casey from Ninja Turtles. And right now today, he can comfortably put underneath his belt 7 years of going across the world with the Michael Jackson tour and Whitney Houston. My peoples, please give a big shout out to Sandfunkinone. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to one of my good friends, Sandile Sandfunkinone.
What up,
my G? You
Broski?
good? You nice?
Awe.
Thank you, Poza. So, my G, how you been? How you living? You good?
Good, bro.
Easy, no?
But the pandemic. Bro.
It's petty.
Nah?
It's petty.
Got us good.
But anyway, G, I'm going to jump straight into it. I know the people at home really want to figure out what is this dancing thing. I mean, we see it everywhere. We integrate with it. We love it. We jump on the trends and stuff. But my thing is, what was your beginning story with dance? Like, and I'm not even talking about how you started dancing, but like that initiative to be like, hey man, there's some stuff I can do. So like, just tell me a little bit about your history going back to being a kid, a young lad.
Yeah, I think I'm the cliche of my generation because like it was like once you saw MJ, that was over. That was it. You're like, yo man, what is this guy doing? You see the moonwalk, you see him doing backslides, and you're just like, yo.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it all started. Because throughout primary school, I never considered myself a dancer, but I was always trying to moonwalk and always trying to, do stuff, and you're always impersonating. So I think that's where a bit of my interest came from. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
And you also grew up in Rosettenville,
Yeah.
right, which is in the south,
Yeah.
as they call it, dirty,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I do know that there's a lot of illicit activities that might happen,
Yeah.
right? So the question for me is like, do you think dancing assisted you to get away from those kind of activities? Because I do know, especially at a young age, especially when you grow up in an area that has been deemed as unimprovable by society, that kids get lost in it. You know? So I just want to find out from you, because I do know you also had a group of friends that you started off dancing with, that you started going around and collecting other guys to come join you to start this whole crew where you could start dancing. So was that an outlet for you to firstly express yourself as a person, and secondly to stay away from what could have happened to you?
Growing up in Rosettenville is pretty rough because the South has always had a fight culture.
Yeah.
That's why I started, because I was learning how to fight.
Right.
Because I had to know how to fight. But through that, I learned dance. And when you're dancing, everyone kind of is always giving you props. Like, hey, brah, you dope. And they kind of just leave you alone. So through dancing, most of the time I was left alone. And that's how I spent most of my time. I was spending like 9 hours in a park, so I didn't have time for anything else.
True.
Like even like at school, I passed school because I used to just listen really well. I was spending most of my time just dancing and hanging with my friends. Dancing was like the number one thing I did.
Right.
And that's how I actually connected with everyone. The good thing about dancing is also that it brought a lot of like-minded individuals. So because it's not everyone is going to go for dancing, especially breaking, because that's what I started with. So it attracted like-minded individuals. So that made it easier for me. So within my little circle, I knew that everyone, we kind of like the same thing. We influenced each other with like cool things, like let's watch anime, and that's the type of people. So we were kind of nerdish, but we still could get away with it because everyone thought we were kind of
cool.
Yeah, because we're doing this physical thing that, you know, that everyone's like, yo, that's crazy, it's dope. Yeah, so I think, yeah, it did keep me out of trouble a lot. Yeah, it did. And also because when you're in a neighborhood like that, everything else is expensive because you just a whole lot of poor kids. So I couldn't play soccer, I couldn't play basketball. I was good at them, couldn't afford it. Dancing was free, you know. I'd go to someone who works at Stir Kinnico, be like, yo, can I have that poster? Yep, cut it in half. I've got a dancing mat, cheap. It's done.
It's over.
And we could do it anywhere, on the corner, in a park, as long as we had our mat. And we didn't even need music. We were just dancing,
So then, I guess that leads me to my next question of, do you think dancing is where we create lasting relationships with people? Because I'll speak for myself as being a previous dancer back in way back. But I found it that when I found dancing, it allowed a concept of family. Outside of the homestead. So it was a place where you could go to express yourself with people, like you said, that are like-minded. So you didn't feel judged or felt pressured to be something that you're not. You know, especially because we're the millennial generation and we come from the culture of we need to break the stereotype of what our parents went through because that's why they sent us to school with white kids, per se. So you can try live their life and have their perspective. So I felt like dance for me was an escape to a world where I was able to be myself with people around me. And from that, I've had very lasting relationships, brotherhoods to say, you know, with yourself and other people, where it all started from learning how to do the chicken head. For you 2Ks who don't know, we'll segment a video, you'll see. And do moves that if I see you doing, I'm like, oh, shucks, you're doing that move, dope. Automatically, you know, there's like this draw towards each other because we have this understanding.
Very true. Because like even like my closest best friends is people that I started the crew with. Those are like my close best friends. It's still been the same people since then, since we're like 13, 14. And we've just grown up to like know each other. We know each other's families and stuff like that. And even like the people that I will say like are my homies, like you guys, like we met when we were like in high school.
Bro.
We lived in like separate parts of Johannesburg. You're like Highlands, I was in the south. And the way we meet is just like we come to a comp one day and you keep seeing that person. It's like, yo, bro. Time moves on, 5 years later, you're working together. Like, oh, bro, what's up? And it continues like that. Even like good examples like Edwin. Like Eddie B. I met that guy at athletics.
What?
We were doing athletics for school, but we were actually going just to scout if we could see other dancers because we wanted a battle. That's how I met Edwin. And I've known him ever since then.
Since then, bro.
He was like one of the first crews from a different school that we battled.
That's crazy. Because I think, because Eddie as well, for those of you who do know Edwin, he's very quiet, and he keeps to himself. So it's so interesting to hear stories like this. And he just entered, didn't he just come back?
BC1,
the BC ones, Red Bull BC ones. Shout outs to the homie, he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. No, that's dope, bro.
Hold on. Wait.
Show me the money.
Cool, my G. So I wanted to now speak about taking this hobby, this extramural, and turning it into a career, right? I know a lot of people, especially because we took it as a hobby. We never thought you could make money off this thing, right? But then the funny thing is that when it did present itself, it made sense to some degree, and it was easy for us because we've been training for God knows how long, right? So then my question is, when you started dancing, right? How hard or easy was it to pick up mentally? Because physically, you can grab it. Because you see that person do this, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Especially with what you started off with, which is breaking, which is way different from popping or locking or what is in now. what was the mentality behind you sticking with trying to land an air chair? You sticking with doing windmills? With you sticking trying to hold a one-hand handstand? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people would move away from that.
Okay, so the funny thing is that the reason I stuck to it is, and like the guy who used to teach me how to rap always
Yes.
said this about it. He was like, the one attribute you have is that you're persistent. Like he says, I'm annoyingly persistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I have this thing where I have to do it.
Yes.
And then apart from that, in my mind, I have to do it better than anyone else. I'm very competitive in my head.
Mentally,
So
right.
like once I do something, I have to be the best.
Right.
Like
right.
that's what I'm aiming for. Like
Okay.
yeah, like I have to nail this thing and I have to get it.
Yeah.
So I don't mind putting time into it. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'll put if someone's gonna practice 5 hours, it's like that Kobe thing. That's why I like
Yes,
Kobe a lot.
yes,
When I
yes.
heard Kobe speak, I kind of was like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of
get
get where
it.
he's coming from.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to.
You
like
have to
if
put in
if
the
I have to be
hours.
in top 5 with that thing, at least.
True.
Yeah, at least. So that's what kept me going. Is that
Okay.
yeah. So and then every time I would get something, I'd be like, okay, I can do more. What else can I do? And I always feel like there's always more that you can do.
That you can do.
Yeah. So yeah.
Very
And-
true.
Yeah, and also I'm a fan of the karate movies. So when you see
Obvious.
those guys, hey, training, I'm like, yeah, training.
Training, yes.
Yeah. So I think that's where it comes from.
Okay,
yeah.
so then that would then I'm fair to say that's why you've pushed it this long as a career.
Yeah, funny enough, the career thing happened by accident. So I'm in varsity, I'm studying for 1 year. My uncle left me a bit of money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money,
Yeah.
The money finishes that 1 year. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, do I take a loan from, NSFAS? I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Because I know, I'm like, I don't want to be another black kid who's paying back student loans. So I'm like, no, go back to the hood. And then Ash is like, yo, bro, I'm just doing this thing. I'm like, hey, bro, put me on.
Right.
That's where we end up, doing the whole roadshow thing. That's how it starts. That's how
Okay.
small. But when
Yes.
I get there, I commit.
Yes.
Once I do something, I commit. I'm like, cool. Let me do it to the best of my ability and see where it goes. And then, yeah. I've been
So then
pushing
that brings me to my next question. Do
Yeah.
you believe that just because you're talented, you deserve everything that is meant to be for you per se? So what I mean is, because everyone around you says, oh my God, San, you're so talented.
Yeah.
Do you believe that you deserve every single opportunity that's laid in front of you to be yours? Or does that require you to put in the hours and work to also get that thing? Not because you're talented, but because of your mindset.
Yeah, like what I've learned over time is that talent is only like 30% of the work.
Yeah.
People have to know who you are. So if you're gonna sit there and be like, yo, I'm killing this, they're gonna come get me. They're not gonna find you. They don't know who you are.
Facts.
2, it's how you present yourself most of the time. So you can be the most talented dancer in the world, but if you're an asshole and you're hard to work with, of course, they'll rather take someone who's easier to work with and has moderate skill.
Yeah.
You see, so there's so many factors that come into this. Are you professional? Like, are you taking care of yourself? A simple thing, like, unfortunately, it's one of those things where aesthetics is everything. It's dancing, so you have to look good.
True,
Yeah.
true.
And play to your strong points. And,
Yeah.
and you can't just all of these things, like, you have to treat it like a profession.
Yeah.
You have to look the part. You have to understand every dynamic that comes within the career. You learn it across, you learn it as you go, but you have to keep on learning and just not think that, because I've got the illest moonwalk or backslide, they're going to come get me. It's like, nah. Bro.
Nah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So then my question to follow to that is, so now you've got the talent, you've got the mindset,
Yeah.
right, to set. Do you then believe that your work ethic can kill anyone else's work ethic? In the sense that if you go, like, remember like back in the day when I'm sure they still do it now,
Yeah.
but I remember back in the day, like when people like Super
Yeah.
and Angelo were at the top,
Yeah.
and they would put you in a room,
Yeah.
and everyone had to dance,
Yeah.
right? My work ethic at that point could have been at 100.
Yeah.
Yours could have been at 100, but
Yeah.
it's like, in the eyes of the person,
Yeah.
I'm probably at 80.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I'm saying is then, as hard as you push in it,
Yeah.
do you think that the work ethic is so important to the point where you can kill anyone in the room? Or is it you saying, I'm going to push as hard as I can?
Yeah.
If they see me, they see me.
Yeah.
If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
Because I think that's also something that plagues dancers a lot.
Yeah.
Is that they will practice
Yeah.
stupid hours, right? And do an audition or go for a casting or something.
Yeah.
And then they won't get it.
Yeah.
But in their mind, they know they've pushed the hardest.
Yeah.
And then maybe the other kid who is talented
Yeah.
gets it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just coming from a mental, emotional perspective for dancers also, and just humans, to understand that sometimes, for me,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not always how hard you push.
Yeah.
It just might not have been for
Or
you.
yeah, that's another thing. So I always tell people, no matter what the circumstances is, always give it your 100%, because why? You never know who could be watching and what could come from it later. That one thing that you're doing at the moment might not be for you, but still always do your best and don't take it personally. You know,
Yes.
because there's always a lesson even in defeat. So I always tell people, if you get it, there's a lesson. If you don't, there's also a lesson. So keep going. The thing is that when it comes to saying that you're pushing at 100%, that's according to you. And
Yeah.
stick by that. But always know there's 100% that you haven't hit. And that's why the other person could win. Because you don't have the knowledge he has. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying there's always more. Like I learned different things. Like I thought I was a well-prepared person. And then going through all the people I've danced with, I've learned something from each of them.
Yeah.
So with Ash
Yeah.
taught me, like, when I used to watch Ash, like, I used to watch him and be like, yo, why is this guy so groovy, you know? So I used to analyze him, and then he taught that, and he learned something from me. He moves on. Nathan comes in. Nathan's super disciplined. I thought I was disciplined.
Yeah.
Nathan's even more disciplined. So
Yeah.
I look at Nathan, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Why? And I adopt what Nathan has, and he adopts something from me. I get Stabby. Stabby's a go-getter, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, this nigga not even from Joburg, you know?
And he's moving this way.
And then what? I have to drop the same thing. So there's always more. You know. You see, if
Yes.
you closed and you're ignorant and you think that you're perfect, you final form, you're fooling yourself.
I
You have
like
to
that. I
constantly-
like
yeah.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
DBZ
There's
reference,
more-
my
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
If you think you final form, there's more, guy. There's a gold version of your ass.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so cool. Last thing on this segment. What has been your lowest moments or lowest moment for you in dancing?
So it happened, I think it is 2008 Masters, right?
Okay.
So I prepare for Masters. I was like doing banana hat tricks. That's
Yeah.
when Crush and LT
Oh,
were
yes,
here.
yes.
So I had been like, I was dabbling a bit of crump, mixing it with a bit of like popping and animation, and I was just practicing hat tricks. In my head, I felt like I had the final formula, right?
Right.
So I get on stage and I come forth.
Ish.
It crushes me.
Right.
Boom. It crushes me. That day, I swear, like, from this day on, everybody's catching the smoke. That's the day I was like, everybody
getting
yeah.
this.
Even my dad, I'm like crying in the car. My dad's like, you're a color. But to me, that was the point. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So but fortunately enough, I used that moment. It was
Right.
like, for me, it was like the lowest point. And I was like, fuck, no. This is like,
That
no,
can't
this
be.
is no, this can't be me. It's like, no. So that's where, at that moment, I was like, I need to work harder.
Dope.
I thought I was working harder, but I'm not.
Not.
Yeah.
And your highest point in dance, so to this date.
Yeah, highest point. I think my highest point is when my mom actually got to see me dance on stage.
That's dope.
Because she's always seen me in like DVDs and stuff like that. And then she actually
Yeah.
came to a show. And I was like, yo, my mom was actually able to see me do this. Because she always used to say like crazy out of pocket shit. Like, hey, it was a point time one. And like, you know.
Our moms are.
Yeah. And she's like, hey, look, Chopper, wow, and then and then she was like, she was like, wow, you're actually doing this. I never thought I'd see, especially because I was able to do so much for her through dance. So now that she's sitting in the crowd and she got to see me in my element, that's
fire.
Yeah,
I love
my
that.
highest point, yeah.
I think we take for granted the power that dance has.
Yeah.
And how it affects everyone around us,
Yeah.
especially like our family, because they don't know that, I almost broke my neck yesterday,
Yeah.
right? I could have
Yeah.
been in a cast right now, but I'm pushing so I can bring in the bread, so you don't have to stress about nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's also the beautiful side of dance. I mean, everything has its yin and yang.
Yeah.
But when you holistically look at it, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, very true, bro.
Man. I said, let me tell you something. Listen to me.
Cool, my G. So I've got this segment that I want to start doing called Story Time. Because I've got, since everyone that I want to engage with, I think there's some history between us all, right?
Yeah.
So now, when we were still working at that place, right, doing road shows, right, and we'd go like for 6 months on a time.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many times we would go with them niggas, right, who've been doing it, and then the minute we rocked down, let's say PE or something, these niggas would run Ekasi, and then they'd bring back...
Yeah, okay, I think I know what story. I know the story you're talking about. Okay, carry on. That one time,
So tell me a little bit more.
Okay. The incident you're talking about is that one time that other homie, first of all, he got super lit, right? And I think one of the days he was walking and he fell in the pool. That weekend, this homie got super lit. That first day he falls in the pool, walks into the accommodation, he's like halfway. He's like, yo, what's up, bro? And this man's like, hey, I found he's like bleeding. First of all, his body was too small for that alcohol. And then the weekend carries on, and then I think it was even the same day. Later on in the day, he goes and picks up this Han.
Right.
Han walks in with the glasses, just to find out she got pink eye. Bro, this man pulled up with some other with pink eye. Oh, my man committed. He clapped those cheeks, bro. Me and Helen were finished. We're like, oh. Guys are savages, bro. Guys are savages. We're like, yo, these dudes are out
They
like this.
upset, dude.
I'll never forget that, bro. Yo, when he was like, yo, she got pink eye. She been wearing like, it was like fake Gucci.
Yeah, like fake Gucci shit, dude. And that time it's like 8 at night.
Yeah.
And we look, and also her weave wasn't the best.
Bro.
You know that weave that's shining, bro.
Yo,
like, ongati plastic,
Yeah, bro.
Or
No, but on the real, when she walked in, I just heard I was like, damn, bro. Yo, but no, people are known for that. That's what we get to see.
That's
Just
the
like,
thing.
yo,
So that's why I was like, let me, because you're the only one who would remember. So I mean, just for like context for people, road shows are promotional shows that go on the road to different parts of the country, right?
Yeah.
So let's say a brand like a service provider decides they want to do a roadshow campaign in PE. Then there's a group of people who go, music, dances, all of that to promote, let's say, SIM cards.
Yeah.
So we used to do that, right? But we used to roll with like these OGs, like triple OGs, who been doing it.
Yeah.
So now the thing is, when these homies would rock up in a new city, they obviously had acquaintances there who they used to indulge in adult entertainment. Right?
Yeah.
So we were not accustomed to this.
Yeah, we were like, yo.
We're not those kind of niggas, right? So when we rocked up and we saw this all happen, it looked like a movie. So that's why I was like, Sand is the only person who would know what I'm talking about, because wow, we seen some things.
Yeah, some crazy stuff.
Crazy,
man.
bro.
And them old dudes were wild, bro. We were chilled. We were just like, yo, we were happy just to be somewhere and go see
else.
other dancers.
Yeah.
These guys just out there just. I was like, yo, okay,
Just
this was too much for me, bro. But that night, I remember we were like, yo,
What is this?
yo. That was wild, bro. That was wild, bro.
Yo, that was crazy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna move straight on to something that I like to call Facebook will expose you.
Come on.
He needs some milk.
Tina, yeah, we've got some years on you, 2Ks, you know what I'm saying? So we got some things out here. So, Ntwana, I want to start off with this picture here. There we go, first snap, right?
Yeah.
So tell me what's going on here, bruh. Nabampunga!
No, we're not doing a space paint, bro. You know, space paint. Wait, let me clear it up. So this was actually from when we were shooting, what's that? Pop, Lock and Roll, the movie.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes.
with Maurice and there's Robot Boy,
Okay.
Silla, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
So this was like our team. We were like the clown, we were the clowns, the animation group.
Yes,
So
yes,
this
I
was
do
just,
remember.
we were shooting this was after we shot our scene. We were just like, yo, let's take a pic, you know. It was a memory. It was a very crazy time with
Must
this
have
pic,
been,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I
So-
was like half depressed, I was half happy. It was
Yeah.
crazy, yeah.
That's crazy. And that's also something people don't talk about is like the amount of emotional strain dancers go through.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which is so important. Okay, cool.
Man.
So here,
Man.
I need to understand hairstyle on hairstyle.
Bro, so now
Wonke umuntu ushaya, hey, angazi.
you see, if you're from the south,
Yeah,
cutting patterns.
was a thing.
My man, it's like this. You see, when the double trim was in,
Yes,
we
yes.
were locking that thing down in the beginning when you have a trim on top of a trim on top of a trim. Yeah. So back in the day, bro, I was paying like 150 rand for each haircut, bro. But I made
Back
sure.
then?
Yeah, I was like drawing the stuff myself, and I was like, yo, let me go. I'm gonna step up the freshest. Back then, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you got new money. You're like, I gotta be fresh every day. 150, bro. Bah! Come there, people see my pattern. They're like, damn. I'm like, yeah, you know what's up, boy, looking crisp. And then here it was actually an event.
Was this an event?
Yeah, so all the homies had got their hair done and were like, yo, let's flex.
Let's
for the
flex on him.
socials.
Let's
Yeah.
flex on him. So this is Ash, I'm guessing.
That's Ash, that's JJ.
That's JJ.
Yeah.
Shout
JJ
out-
just
shout
got
out
to
to
like
JJ, yeah.
Joburg and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of Cape Townians that just rolled in and stuff like that.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
All
we're
right.
feeling nice.
Too nice. Then the last one.
Yeah, hey, this pig always has people questioning me. So this one, we were out at Stonehenge, there in England.
I love how he just says, yeah, we were out there at Stonehenge, like, yeah, second aid, gents.
No.
Ah, nyabuya, yeah, Stonehenge, fast.
No, you know what it is?
Nyabuya, boy.
No,
Nifuna
no.
ikota. Ah, nyazwakala.
You know, the thing is that from a picture, it looks more glamorous than it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's one
true,
of those.
true.
It's one of those European things that they tell you, "Good, yeah, you need to be here." When you get there, like, oh, nice. You know, like people underestimate.
But in your mind, you're just like, it's fucking rocks on top of rocks.
Yeah, we underestimate the stuff that we have at home. But anyway, we were there having a day out of it because you do the tourist thing.
Yeah.
So went with a group of people. Golda happened to be there. She was my dancing partner on tour, so
Okay.
we always had this lift. So it was
Oh,
our go-to
right, so
lift.
it was your go-to
So I was like,
lift.
yo, they'll be dope, for a pic. I took a number once. I was doing an aerial. I took like a lot of pics because I was like, yeah, for the gram, it's gonna be fire. So this was one of the pics and stuff like that.
No, that's dope, bro. Because
Yeah.
when I came across this on your social, I was like, yeah, this is an interesting pic. You got
Yeah.
Stonehenge in the back.
Yeah.
You're out, you're holding up Golda. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
This is-
Rocky Road vibes, bruv. But anyway, cool. So next thing, last and final thing, actually. We come from the era of play, forward, rewind, slow motion.
Yeah.
And when I mean this, y'all will know, if you know, from back in the day. If VHS,
Yeah.
faki cassette,
Yeah.
uthi fast forward,
Yeah.
rewind, slow motion.
Yeah.
Because we needed to because there was no teachers back
Yeah.
then. So we needed to understand exactly what was happening in a music video, whether it was Usher, Michael Jackson, or Mario and Chris Brown, whatever it may be. So my question to you is, I know every dancer has a couple or maybe even like a catalog of music videos that inspired them.
Yeah.
Because that's where you also get to see new moves.
Yeah.
For instance, for me, Usher's caught up
Yeah.
in when he's on the stage. There were so many moves he was doing there
Yeah.
that I didn't even understand, bro.
Yeah.
That I had to rewind, fast forward, and be like, wait, how does he do that, right? So my question to you is, what are your 3 favorite music videos, past, present, that you drew, like, that gave a spark into your being?
Yeah.
You know?
So my number 1 video, and I feel like it's the it's been one of the baddest music videos ever made is Smooth Criminal. That video,
Actually,
man,
you
it's
are right.
timeless.
It is timeless.
Smooth Criminal cannot be touched.
Nah,
Okay,
you can't.
that it's when you watch it, you're just like, Smooth Criminal has to tie at number 1. I have to give 2 for number 1 with Remember the Time. Because that whole
Yes.
yeah. So MJ holds number 1 title for music videos.
Yeah.
And then Usher, most of Usher's music videos come in at 2, but the one that stood out in my mind that played a huge role was My Way. I don't know why. I just used to love My Way with Mr. I didn't even notice
was
Mr. Wiggles.
Mr. Wiggles,
And I see
yeah.
Mr. Wiggles,
Yeah.
My Way. And then third has to be like Omarion. Omarion music videos did a lot. Oh was big and everything, but from Omarion, my one is Entourage, where the music just stops and like,
Yes.
yeah, those 3
Fire.
did a lot. When I watched them, they like changed my
The
mentality.
concept, man.
Yeah, and then just as a bonus thing there, Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
that was also
yes,
like a game changer
yes,
for
that
me.
is-
Yeah,
I can
Yeah.
fully understand
Yeah.
why you say that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. Dope. Well, beautiful people, I hope you enjoyed that. This is The Move, right? And our first guest was Mr. Sandy Sandfunkinone. I hope you enjoy that. Remember, subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell, do the things.
Thanks for having me.
We got more coming up on the way, but please, one more time, give it up for Mr. Sandfunkinone. Hey. My G. So we out, beautiful people. Till the next one.
Well,